watching CSN, Culver Sports Network. We're here today to discuss the topic of specialization in athletics. We asked some of the top athletes at this esteemed institution for their respected opinions on this.
It's the count to beat the goat.
Hello guys, we're here to ask you a few questions about specialization today. Both of you are exceptional athletes in the Culver community, and we'd like to start out with asking, the question is, in your honest opinion, do you believe that specialization leads to greater skill development and improvement?
Well, Kevin, I'll go first.
Perfect.
I believe specialization does lead to greater skill development.
Personally, I think that specialization does lead to greater skill development and improvement because if you specialize in a sport, you get more time to focus and you can put all of your efforts into that one sport, which will then lead to greater success because you don't have to worry about improving your game in other aspects, in other sports. You can put everything into one, which would then lead to your greater improvement.
I'm going to answer that question with another question. So let's say you're going to make quiche every day for the rest of your life. You're probably going to make a mean quiche. But if you're going to mix it up, maybe make some brownies, some ice cream, you're probably going to be okay at all of them. But, you know, if you're making quiche, you're going to be really good at making quiche. So if I'm just playing one sport, you know, I'm probably going to be amazing at it than playing all the other non-sport, I guess not other sports, but other activities that are hockey.
So would you say that you're good at making quiche or brownies?
I would say if I made quiche every day for the rest of my life, I'd be pretty good at making quiche. But if I made quiche and brownies, I'd be okay at making them both.
Okay.
You know?
Pause, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Honestly, I'm a quiche person.
It's good. It's really good.
Yeah, you make stuff every day, you're gonna become good at it. I mean, nobody wants that mediocre
Quiche.
Yeah, that
It's
mediocre
lactose
quiche.
intolerant. You can't have it though.
Exactly. When you're making quiche every day, people are gonna respect you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Specialization.
So you both agree that specialization does lead to greater skill development
Yes.
and improvement?
Agree completely. I don't not agree. I agree.
It sounds great.
Have either of you ever specialized in your athletic career? And if so, did it help improve your game?
I've actually, I don't know, I've done actually multiple sports probably throughout my entire life. And at one point, I believe I was just doing hockey, but that wasn't really choice. But I guess you could say it was specializing in it. And I just felt like I wasn't, I guess, being as athletic or developing skills in hockey as much as I could have with the help of other sports to keep me also active and like the more cardio aspect in soccer to bring into the hockey kind of thing. So I don't know. I personally don't like specializing. I like playing multiple sports, but I guess I haven't really fully ever tried it.
I agree with that because playing soccer this year was like a good experience for me, and you know, it really helped me get my mind back on hockey season. It made me miss hockey for once. You know, I never miss hockey because I've always specialized in it. So, and it's helped me to play better. What can I say? I'm an all-star. You know, first team all conference and voted most consistent player by my peers. So, you can definitely say multi-sport athlete is maybe in my future.
Well, all my life since I was like 5, I swam, and that's a sport where you really have to specialize, and it requires like immense amounts of time and like really like full concentration. So like lots of time. And so until I got to Culver, I didn't really have the opportunity to do any other sports. So when I got to Culver and I had the opportunity to play lacrosse, it gave me more like a greater outlook on what I could be doing. But swimming helped with that, so I don't wish that I had started lacrosse any earlier or focused on that for my entire life.
So you think that playing multiple sports has helped you with every sport you play?
Yeah, I feel like if you focus too early, there's more chance of injury, there's more chance you'll be burnt out by the time you get to college or you get to high school, and it just won't work out as well in the long run.
Okay. So you
I've always played multiple sports in my career, and the main sports that I played are lacrosse and football. And from football, I kind of learned how to do footwork and how to become faster and move my body more on my feet and work with that. And that transfers over into lacrosse a little bit. And with that, lacrosse, I can learn how to play footwork, but also from lacrosse, I learned the coordination aspect of it. So it kind of transfers and fluctuates between both those sports, I think.
Have, and I became really good at the sport that I was doing, then I quit.
Would you like to elaborate on that sport?
When I was really young, I was a figure skater, and I would be in the rink for at least 6 hours every day, and I was one of the top in the Southeast District for my age group. I actually went in age groups that were beyond my experience just to challenge myself, and I could compete with them, but I quit and began playing hockey, and hockey became my main sport, and I think through specialization of that as well, it helped improve my game.
Wow, that is some extreme dedication. Pierre, you said you haven't really specialized, so do you wish you would have specialized at a younger age? Do you think it would have benefited you?
When I was younger, I was a gymnast, so I did gymnastics a ton, and I loved it. And at that point, when I was younger, my coach asked me to specialize in the gymnastics area, and I could have become like an Olympic gymnast, but I decided not to because I've always thought that playing different sports and picking different sports that you like would be more beneficial. I also agree with him that specializing in a sport you love is great, but if it's not the one that's meant for you, then I think that playing different sports is key.
I feel like I did it the right way. I think maybe if I focused in at lacrosse at a younger age, I would have been able to play maybe at a higher level. I'm going to go play D3 next year, but there's nothing wrong with that. Playing at a great school, and I think maybe with a little more time focused in on lacrosse, I would have been able to go to the D1 level. But I feel that I would have missed a lot of opportunities playing a sport that I loved all my life, and all those opportunities that I've had with friends and experiences. I mean, I wouldn't trade those for the world.
Awesome.
So when did you realize that you needed to specialize to become a better player and to become the best that you can be in your sport?
Well, besides the fact when I was approached by the NHL when I was 6, I'm gonna go with the fact that I see these players, I see them going to the next level, and I go, what are they doing? It's every day, it's hockey every day. I don't have time for other activities like soccer, for instance. I don't know. It's a sport. It's apparently.
I think that's still a sport. Yeah,
it's still
considered a sport.
They haven't banned it yet, but okay.
Working on it. So pause.
I realized it was time. You see the competition starting to catch up with me. I was a stud from the start,
He was.
I ran the game, and then you
I have a
slowly
hockey
see.
card of him, with the staples and all. Oh, no problem.
So you slowly see people start catching up to your level, then you realize, okay, you gotta change it up a little. That's when I realized,
It's time to make some cuts.
I see. Okay, that's great. So with Culver placing a large emphasis on the mind, body, and spirit, do you believe that specialization, as you probably know, that it places stress on young athletes often? Do you believe it negatively affects the mind, body, and spirit of an athlete?
I think in certain cases you can't just kind of blanket statement everything like that. So in my experience, I've had my attitude, I guess you would call that mind or spirit, hampered by specializing too much, just because that goes along with burnout. And if you specialize too much, and for instance, I'd have to miss parties or dances and stuff when I was in middle school because I always had games or an early morning practice, and you never really get a chance to be a kid and just be able to hang out. So I think that can put a damper on your mind, body, and spirit. But at the same time, if you don't love the sport and you know you're gonna have to make those sacrifices, then I don't think you should specialize.
I do. I feel like if you start from an early age and you just do one sport, and that's like your entire life and you don't have a chance to try other sports, then like years and years into it, unless you're like a specimen, you're gonna have issues. You're gonna not only your body's gonna start feeling the wear and tear of doing the exact same thing every day, but also your mind gets weary and you're not as motivated. In my personal experience, you're not as motivated by the time you get like 12 years out. You know.
Yep. Perfect. Okay. The next question.
What's the mind and the spirit? You know, it's all about the body. It's
All about the body.
What I think is that, you know, you like the sport, you want to play it all the time, you want to be the best. And if it causes you stress, and maybe you're not cut off for that sport, you know, I mean, try something else. Try cooking, for instance, make some quiche, as I already said. But you know, if you're tough, you like the sport, you're gonna battle through, try to be the best, and you know, that and to guys in the pros, they practice every day because they can handle it. So you know, one guys like John Zimmerman, perhaps you know maybe you can play some more soccer, you know, all confidence.
So here.
Do you see specialization as a common theme among your fellow peers at this esteemed institution?
I do see specialization as kind of an ever so occurring thought, but we also spread ourselves out to other sports. We're usually not one sport athletes, and if we are, then we're pretty amazing at that one sport. But you'll see kids that are playing one sport in the fall, but on the weekends when they don't have a game or something, they're practicing their winter sport, and they're spreading themselves out, and they want to become best at what they can. They miss certain sports because it may be their main sport.
Thank you.
I think that no matter where this institution goes, I think that there will always be multi-sport athletes. There will be the people like myself who focus on one sport, but you know, we're gonna have people like Pierre who want to play different sports because you know he has a passion for that sport as well, or maybe he thinks that it benefits him when he's like playing football. It benefits him when he plays lacrosse. So I think that no matter where this institution goes, I think that we will have kind of an even balance between specialized athletes and non-specialized athletes.
Do you agree on that, Pierre?
Oh yeah, 100%.
I'd say definitely not as much in Culver. I feel there's a lot of athletes that play multiple sports. You see guys playing football, basketball, and baseball or something like that. I mean, you see 3-sport athletes here a lot more than you do back home. I know back home at my high school before I came here, there were a lot of guys that played multiple sports, but ultimately weren't ever really great at any of those sports either. And then some of my better friends that I play with, they focused on one thing like soccer, basketball, and really did quite well. And I have some friends that are going on to D1 schools. So I don't think it's a bad thing, but I think it needs to be done with moderation and the right time, and you need to really commit to it if you're going to specialize.
Final question here. Do you imagine that specialization will affect Culver's future? Will they adapt it like Shattuck has, or will they continue with the route of having open gates for anyone to join or do anything?
I think it will be open gates for, like, Culver in a whole will be like open gates. You can join whatever you want, do whatever you need to, and try different things. Because I know I came here and I picked up lacrosse. Like, that was an open gate I tried, rather than just coming here for the sport that I intended to play. And but then also you're going to see teams like our prep lacrosse team or possibly the prep hockey team that's going to take athletes and in a way demand them, like the coaches demand them to come to these certain like practices and this pregame and like just like the preseason and work them as hard as they can because they want to produce D1 athletes in their sport so that their name is known. So I think in the future it's going to, like on the website you're going to see like, oh, try whatever you want, do whatever you need to, but once you get there or you're on the team or you talk to the coach, I think it could change to you're going to be here and you're going to like it.
So with that being said, I don't think specialization it will never be like Shattuck St. Mary's. I'll tell you that. Just because I think we have a higher sense of urgency around here for things like academics and military and stuff like that. But I think even right now there's specialization going on.
I think we could see an increase in specialization, but I don't think that Culver's ever going to be dominated by one sport athletes.
Do we lock the gym? when basketball players are out of season, or do we, close the cruise shed in the fall when it's not their actual rowing season, or do we, take away the baseball gloves and say you can't go play baseball in the fall when it's not the season? Or it's just an interesting concept. They wouldn't pour in the effort to have a top team and help these athletes to achieve their goals, whether they're specializing or not. It doesn't make you a psycho to focus on one sport. And a lot of guys came here for that opportunity to play hockey, as well as get a great education here at Culver Academies. And unfortunately, I feel like sometimes that the ability to reach your fullest potential isn't quite given to you here.
We have so many sports, we have so many passionate coaches, passionate players for different sports, and it's just not something you see at Culver because the diversity in every aspect is so broad here.
I think Culver's going to set the precedent and start, we're going to be the specialization school. But, I think it'll change as it goes. We'll see what happens.
I'll answer that question with another question. Would you rather have 2 guns or more ammo?